At first, everything seemed perfect. Jungkook was smiling, laughing, and the cameras captured every second of it. Taehyung stood beside him, and for a moment, it felt like time had stopped, two brothers sharing a quiet joy that only they could understand. But then, something changed. Taehyung turned around. Just a few steps away, and suddenly, Jungkook's smile was gone, the sparkle in his eyes faded as if someone had turned off the light inside him. Fans who watched the footage noticed it instantly, his face, his expression, everything shifted in a heartbeat. What really happened in that moment? Was it just exhaustion, or something deeper, something only the two of them knew? This is the moment that broke every ARMY's heart, when Taehyung walked away, and Jungkook's world suddenly felt empty under the dazzling lights and roaring cheers. Jungkook stood beside Taehyung, their laughter echoed through the stage, natural, pure, and unfiltered. For a brief second, it felt like the world had paused just to watch them smile together. Two souls, one bond, unshaken by time, or so it seemed. Then it happened. Taehyung took a single step forward, turning his back as he walked away, and in that instant, something inside Jungkook shifted. His lips stopped curving upward, his eyes, once full of light, suddenly dimmed. The cameras caught everything. Fans replayed the clip over and over, searching for an answer. Within seconds, Jungkook's radiant smile had vanished. It wasn't anger, it wasn't disappointment, it was something much heavier, a sadness he couldn't hide, even in front of millions. That moment spread like wildfire online. Comments flooded in. Why did Jungkook look so heartbroken? Behind the stage, no one truly knew what was going through his mind. To the world, it looked like nothing, just a simple goodbye between friends, but fans who know them deeply could sense something different. Jungkook wasn't just quiet, he was hurting. Jungkook and Taehyung have shared countless moments, from laughter on stage to tears behind the curtain. Their connection runs deeper than fame or spotlight. So when one of them turns away, the other feels it more than anyone can imagine. Zoomed in fan cams showed everything in painful clarity, the flicker in Jungkook's eyes, the forced smile, the slight tremble in his jaw as he tried to hide his feelings. He looked like he wanted to say something, but didn't. Moments before that scene, Taehyung had shared something quietly, a few words that weren't caught on camera. Some say it was about a temporary goodbye, others believe it was something much more personal. Whatever it was, it changed Jungkook's entire mood. Sometimes, goodbyes don't need words, the distance itself says everything. As Taehyung walked away, Jungkook stood still, frozen in that silence, a silence that screamed louder than any sound on that stage. When the clip surfaced online, fans felt every emotion Jungkook tried to hide, the heartbreak, the longing, the quiet sadness behind his forced smile. Armies around the world shared the same feeling. That wasn't just a look, that was pain. Later, Jungkook smiled again, like nothing had happened, but fans knew better. Behind every smile lies a story untold, and behind every step away, a bond that words can't break. Because even if Taehyung walked away that day, their connection will always remain, silent, powerful, and eternal. That clip of Jungkook went viral overnight. Millions watched it, paused it, replayed it, again and again. Some fans cried. Some tried to analyze every second, the tilt of his head, the shift in his eyes, the way his lips tightened as he watched Taehyung leave. No one could ignore it anymore. Something about that moment was real. Backstage, the atmosphere was different. No cameras, no lights, just two people, sitting in silence. They didn't need to speak, the air already carried the weight of unspoken words. Sometimes silence hurts more than shouting ever could. Taehyung glanced at Jungkook, as if wanting to say something but stopping himself. Jungkook's expression softened for a moment, but he stayed quiet. Maybe he wanted to ask, "Why did you walk away?" But all that came out was a small, tired smile, one that didn't reach his eyes. They had been through everything together, debut days, sleepless nights, shared dreams, shared fears. But with success comes distance, and with distance comes silence. And sometimes, that silence is the loudest sound between two people who once understood each other completely. As fans watched from the outside, theories began to spread. Some said it was just exhaustion, others believed there was a deeper story, one hidden from the cameras. But one thing everyone agreed on, Jungkook's reaction wasn't fake. It was pure emotion. In interviews that followed, Jungkook smiled as always, polite, cheerful, professional, but fans noticed the difference in his tone, that spark, that playful energy. It was softer now. As if he was still thinking about something that happened on that stage. Meanwhile, Taehyung said nothing. No posts, no comments, No explanations, just quiet, and that quiet made the world even more curious because sometimes, saying nothing means everything. Days turned into weeks, schedules changed. Appearances separated them, and though fans saw them in the same place, the space between them felt larger than ever. During one event, they were seated apart, but just once, the camera caught Jungkook glancing at Taehyung. A small look, full of emotion, full of stories untold. Taehyung looked back, just for a second, and that second said more than words ever could. Later that night, Jungkook performed a song about letting go. His voice trembled slightly on one line, and fans couldn't help but connect. To that moment, music became his only language, and every lyric carried a piece of the truth. Social media exploded again, clips of their interactions flooded timelines, each one analyzed like evidence in a mystery. But beneath the surface, this wasn't gossip, it was love, from fans who truly cared. They say idols are experts at smiling through pain, but Jungkook never learned how to fake his heart. When he hurts, you can see it, not in his words, but in his silence, and when he smiles again, it's always a little different than before. Not long after, Taehyung posted something, a photo, a few words, vague but emotional. Fans couldn't help but wonder if it was meant for Jungkook. It spoke about change, distance, and gratitude, and maybe, just maybe, it was his quiet way of saying I miss you. Weeks later, they appeared together again. It wasn't the same, but it wasn't cold either. When their eyes met, there was warmth, like two people who had finally understood something words couldn't fix. Because no matter what happens, Jungkook and Taehyung share something no one else can touch: years of laughter, struggle, dreams, and music. And even when one walks away, their bond remains. Silent but unbreakable. Fans began to understand that not every sad moment means something is wrong. Sometimes people just grow, evolve, and change, but love stays, and maybe that's what makes their story so powerful. Looking back at that viral clip now, it's no longer about sadness or separation, it's about growth. It's about how two people can drift apart and still find their way back to understanding each other again. Later, Jungkook shared in an interview that emotions often hit him hardest after performances. He said, "Sometimes you smile for the crowd, and then you realize how much you miss someone." Those words hit every fan like a wave, soft, honest, and real. Time passed, the tension faded, smiles returned, not forced, but genuine this time. Taehyung and Jungkook stood side by side again, laughing like before, proving that real bonds never truly break. Even now, that one moment, when Taehyung walked away and Jungkook's smile disappeared, remains etched in fans' hearts, not as a sad memory, but as a reminder that behind every idol's smile, there's a real human story, raw, emotional, and beautiful, because sometimes silence says everything.